with the desires of spring. My belly rumbles in joy. Open hearts have no fear. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, open your heart. It's scary. But once you do, you're fearless. If you feel something terrible is just going to happen, change your thinking to what wonderful things can happen with an open heart. And it does change things in just a rapid and radical way. And man, it's time to be radical, huh? We're going to talk about that today in the Ching for the week of May 20th, 2019. That's right. This week it's number 39, Jian. Obstruction, difficulties. Yeah, you been there? Huh? Above is Kan, the gorge, and below is Jen, the obstacles. The wisdom, abundance in view, just out of reach. Identify the obstacles. Embrace the teaching. Okay, I know, that's big. We're going to go there. Often when we're on the road going towards enlightenment, we get obstructions come. They seem like they come from nowhere. You think everything is okay, and then pow, you stub your virtual toe on a rock and you get stopped. And and you realize you've done your work and you've gotten into your affirmations of being correct. But even with all of that, an old pattern will arise, coming from the negative voice of the ego. That voice that can cause doubt, and if you allow it, would instill enough fear and shame to take you off your path to your abundance, to that time, what you've worked for, moving towards love, moving towards an open spirit, right? That's not spiritual, by the way. We open our spirit. Spiritual, that word is getting, I hear it too much, really. And what we're coming to now, though, is very exciting, because we're coming to a time where again, science and spirit are joining together. And of course, that's where all the cure is. That's what happens. It's not separated, right? You're at a turning point now, and the ego is going to try to use your old ideas and your old patterns to challenge you. And you've been here before, and you also know how to deconstruct this block. You've done it time after time. Well, why is it coming back? Well, now, though you have a level of certainty, and you've done well, you've left out a vital component moving forward. The component is compassion. Compassion for yourself and for your suffering. Yeah, we all suffer, part of the deal. Look, there's no blame. Suffering is a signal that freedom is just beyond the veil. You've been conscious of operating for a generous and loving light within. And this is good. What you missed or what you may have forgotten was that some old emotional obstacles still exist. Not only do they exist, as you have evolved and you've gained strength, so have the obstacles, right? Okay, you've been feeding them, not on purpose. Obstacles, they have their own consciousness. And now, these obstacles are on to your magical way of thinking, saying, oh, well, this time's going to be different, and I can get away with duality, and no one will notice or even suspect. No. It doesn't work that way. As you reflect on recent events, your ego tells you that because you've worked so hard and gained clarity, when the old disappointments and difficulties surfaced, you missed what is inherent on the path to love and abundance and satisfaction. Know that the grander and brighter the prize, the greater the transparency. And the more that you're exposed, right, that's risk, the more dynamic the challenge. You see, this is where risk comes in. Through this transparency, You're going to be seeing who you truly are, and you're going to see it yourself. And that's where the power lies. That's where the ability to change, where you don't judge yourself. You're not afraid of what others think about you, right? And what you're doing. What you inherit is your authenticity. And that's the goal, of course. Operating from our authenticity allows us to grow and to be in the place where you realize you are enough. Okay? All right. Take a breath with me right now. I want you to say out loud, if you can, where you are, I am enough. Right? Just get it. I am enough. And you know what? Use that phrase. You know, if you go into a meeting or before a meeting, you feel it's going to be scary, or yet there's a discussion that you have to have, that hard discussion, just realize you're enough and say it. You know, right? Repeat it. There is an inner ear that brings confidence. Now, you've dealt with difficulties, you know, on your way to this time of love and abundance, and all the obstacles in your present situation feel somewhat familiar. In many ways they are, but they're different now. And it's like a quick costume change, like wearing a new face. And this is where the trouble lies, you see, because it's only a distraction. You'll find that the ego is trying to make it seem like these blocks are big, enormous, scary things. So you just better dive under the covers, hide yourself, or even better, man, cut and run. Get out of it. Don't go there. No need to hide. No need to run. You're facing nothing more than a soul shadow, right? The shadow self that's emerged from deep within. Stay steady. This aspect of your shadow self cannot withstand the wisdom of strength of the light you've garnered through your commitment to being your authentic self. That is the commitment to make, no matter what. This truth will set you free, and it really is simple. It's that simple. You'll not be blocked if you move with dignity into the heart of the matter and let yourself be seen for who you truly are: strong, wise, compassionate, and fearless. I know that seems lofty, but dig it. It's easy. Can you be strong? Yes. Are you wise? Yes. Do you have compassion? Yes. Can you be without fear? That's hard sometimes, but we can do it. You see, all the while, you're walking and talking, not manipulating. That brings you to your truth. Man, if you find yourself trying to manipulate someone, something, or yourself, take a breath. This is the time to be outrageous. Think about the word. Outrageous with your passion, with your inner fire, with this open mouth of truth. The truth that says you suspected all along you might encounter obstacles, but these inconvenient obstructions can only be overcome by confronting your own inner deception and demanding that the truth from within yourself can be revealed. The truth in this case is what is locked inside, in the wisdom of knowing who you truly are. And who you truly are is a compassionate self. You see, it's been there all along, waiting for you to claim the prize of where abundance and peace of mind reside, right? You've been here before. It's the same pattern, or some very familiar patterns. But the difference now is that you're accessing the wisdom reminder contained in this teaching, in this gua, this section. The teaching now comes to bring you to the place of truth within self. The truth that you best change your way of thinking in these situations, lest you end up being obscured by the shadow self again and get damaged and hobbled. Man, not this time and not again. Follow the teachings. It ain't going to happen. In the last go-round of addressing obstacles, you learned a lot. But you missed a few things lurking in the shadows. We all do. And these little devils of the negative ego are now puffing themselves up, trying to appear huge. But in truth, they're in fact nothing more than just bits of the shadow self coming into full consciousness. And they seem big because you haven't seen them before. You've gained some knowledge recently, and now you're going to use that. Just don't let your fear, don't let your doubt take over. Not now. You see, they're only vestiges of the old patterns and conditioning that you've been diligently working to slough off. These patterns are weakened, but they're tricky, and you'll find that they're tricky. You see, these old patterns, these obstacles, they've been there as your companion, and you've taught them well. You've taught them a little too well. But now, in fact, it's a good thing that these fears are bubbling to the surface now. You see, now you can fortify your intention to live authentically, and that will wipe them out. For the greater good is what you're living for. And it's a time to let your fear and doubts go once and for all. It takes work, it takes risk, but it's the best, man. You know what you feel? If you're feeling an obstacle going towards the joining with something you desire or completion of a task, consider this. You're standing by a mountain stream and a boulder rolls off and plops itself into the stream. Well, it's a big boulder and the flow of water is blocked. When this happens, the water doesn't fret, doesn't feel sorry for itself. It is graceful. It takes a pause, as the water too has consciousness, as do you. And in this momentary pause, the water building up behind the rock, your ego in this case, gathers strength. And with that strength, it does not try to move the boulder. That's a waste of time, waste of energy. What the wisdom of the water does is to gather itself, become strong, and with grace flows around the boulder, just letting it stay there, letting it be, man. You see, then the boulder becomes a lovely part of the landscape, admired by all, as it assists a newly formed fertile pond with new plants surrounding it, and the river flows. Your benefit now is to begin to see difficulties and obstacles in a new way and consciously change the way you move and deal with them. Pushing on the obstacle or trying to outsmart it will only give that obstacle, whatever it is or whoever it is, more strength, and it will use that strength to further hamper your journey, exhausting you in the process. Take this moment to look around you as to who or what process can help you. It's a wise sage that you can go to, or can you go to a trusted teacher? Or it might just be doing ceremony, doing a ritual, or doing a dance, right? But do it. Whatever it is, make the connection to the divine and know that there's no blame in asking for assistance. Look, asking for help, it is not weakness, it is strength, right? Angst, anger, anxiety, jealousy, depression, these are the ways the ego will try to take you off course, so you can't have the peace of mind that allows you to receive the full blessings of this time of growth. These blessings are here in abundance as you need to be still. You need to reach through the dark veil of the soul to find these blessings that are waiting for you. You know, it's on the earth right now, we're at a very delicate time. It's global, and we're ready for this shift, and that's what we're doing. We're working individually to make a grander shift into a new consciousness, what I see as a new golden age, inspired and activated by a new way of thinking. Always, about all things, change your thinking, starting with each conscious being on earth. That's you. When obstruction blocks your path, seize the moment. Dip into your energetic reservoir to disassemble the obstacles. See them for what they are, and they're not going to be so scary. Know that the benefits of having been diligent about seeking the truth and generating loving kindness are that you've gained some currency to use in situations like this. In this case, go into stillness, right? Meditation or just breath, or lie down and breathe, and listen to the voice of your inner wise one, that wise voice we all have within the inner sage. In this way, the current obstacles will come into the light of your own recognition. Then, by opening your heart and taking a deep breath, then exhaling with intent, they'll be seen as non-threatening and can be handled with an easy new pattern that will become familiar and useful. And once they've passed, move slowly at first. Right? Remember, the water's going to move slowly at first before it flows around the rock. Make sure you haven't missed any obstacles lurking in the dark corners. And this is the key to long-lasting success. Being awake, being aware, listening to the inner voice of the sage, the inner observer. Yeah, listen, it's an acquired skill to quiet the mind in the face of difficulties, but it's not hard, it's just doing it. Change your way of thinking when you're dealing with difficulties. It only comes through practice and commitment, and it's not hard. This can be done easily once you understand that all obstacles are necessary signposts in the road. So we honor our obstacles. By being still, you open a doorway to the creativity of soul guidance and to resulting gain in wisdom. And it's here in stillness that the information about this direction that allows you to surmount the most frustrating, seemingly dangerous situation awaits you. Adverse conditions are a practitioner's true wealth. Yeah, that's true. When an obstacle that you've dealt with in the past, let's say, when it reappears, it isn't punishing you, man. It's just a wake-up call, and we need them. A reminder to see what you've already in perfection done, and all that you need to do at this time in your vast awareness is to open to it. Difficulties arise to fire you up in inspiration and to awaken the passion you felt you had to quell. This intent and passion will allow you to let go of old negative patterning, old emotional patterning, right? And we just shift it, change your way of thinking. As you proceed in this process, you may have to change the object of your desire. Think about that one, right? You might find you're getting stuck in obstacle after obstacle. Look what it is you're moving toward. Maybe that's not the deal. If this is deemed necessary, man, that's going to be freedom. Get out of jail free, man. The freedom to remember who you truly are, right? Not somebody who's always having to cut their way through the jungle. And this is where you know within yourself that you're not going to be a slave to old ways of thinking that never served you anyway. Be love, and in all things have dignity, have integrity, be compassionate, be kind. By being in this mindful space and by being of service, think about that one, be of service. Nothing can block you on your path towards a community shared goal of abundance, love, peace of mind. Embrace and keep the image of our new earth in the forefront of your mind. If we think it, we can make it happen. Seeing it happen time after time, this is the time we got to do it. All right, so I leave you with that. It's a powerful lesson this week, and I really feel that, there's a lot of rumbling going on, rumble of change. On the weekend, I'm recording on the weekend, there's a meeting here called the Summit, and I'm doing some teaching there. And if those of you that are here for the summit are listening to this on Sunday, come to my 2:30 class, right? And we'll talk about it. And let me know that you've heard this. And we'll move forward. And listen, if you have comments, please write to me. Give me your comments. I grow from what you learn and what you tell me and what you know. I give you all the love that there's possibly to give. In Lakesh Alakin. I am the only you. And I am the other you. And in being the other you, I like it that way. Namaste, brothers. Namaste, my sisters. In Lakesh Alakim. I am the other you. Amen. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.